Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Pirillo, and I'm an expert in being myself. I love sharing my advice, opinions, perspectives, thoughts, experiences with you and the rest of the world, so I appreciate when you share my videos with others, especially if they don't know me as well as you might. But of course, one size definitely does not fit all. When it comes to the things that I'm sharing just my point of view. You may have to contextualize it to potentially fit your life or, the lives of anybody around you. Last night, Nomi3 was watching the live stream on Twitch. I'm doing that every night at 6 p.m. I'm doing it right now. I shoot it live to tape in front of a live virtual studio audience. And Nomi3 asked me a question that I'm really familiar with. And I didn't realize I was familiar with it at the time that I was going through it. But instead of approaching it as a victim of the circumstance, I choose to kind of put it in its place. So I don't approach these types of matters with a victim mentality. I push through it to defeat the issue at hand so that I can come out better on the other side, rather than just being weighed under that situation, right? That the weight of the situation and being the victim of the situation that I can fully control. So Nomi3 asked a very simple question: how to move out of a comfort zone. And this is something that I didn't realize I was bad at until I was called out on the behavior. And I only found out that it impacted me, being outside my comfort zone, when I would get really, what's the word I'm looking for? Testy, snippy, dour, not depressed, not sad, but just very agitated. And not really enjoying my time. I think that's probably what it boils down to. Not enjoying my time, and genuinely not enjoying my time. And I found this out about myself years and years and years ago. Got it. Decades. I went on a trip, and I was outside my comfort zone. Didn't realize it, but I was well outside my comfort zone. I was not happy. Things were new. I was in an environment that did not, make me happy to be there. So I was not happy to be there at all. And it wasn't just that the conditions, the weather, the humidity, or the circumstance. It was also because I was in an unfamiliar environment. And at that time, I would find myself getting agitated and concerned and somewhat, I don't know what word to use that's not loaded, but very particular. I thrive in controlled environments. I thrive when there are known variables, not unknown variables. So being thrust into an unknown environment and not knowing what was going to happen next and not being happy is just one thing, compounded on top of the other, on top of the other. And what I discovered out of that experience was I needed to make the best of the moment. And this is something that I constantly struggle with when I'm in a new place, a new environment, doing something completely new. And at one point, that was kind of restrictive for me. That would not be something that I would enjoy doing. And this, like I said, this has been a process for me. I would say a lifelong process. I'm a lot better now in uncontrolled situations or new situations. I don't like traveling. That I think is potentially tied into, stepping outside my comfort zone. I've always been a homebody though. And traveling, that's like number one. Like that's like you're out of your comfort zone. You are not in control of anything. There's a lot of unfamiliarity. Some people thrive in that kind of environment. I don't. So I learned to make the best of these situations, even though I may not be, feeling completely myself. And when you don't feel like yourself, I mean, it's just, it's not a good feeling, because, you're used to being yourself and you're used to known, quantities and whatever. So To step outside of your comfort zone, everyone's going to have a different way of doing it. I'm always finding myself outside of my comfort zone. I'm not going to say on an increasing basis, but when it's a new situation, I take stock in the things that I can control, in the things that are comfortable, in the things that I can do. Maybe not to make something feel like home, or to make it feel normal, or make it feel less stressful, but just accept it for what it is, where it is. So I have elements that I can control, right? You know, I can decide what it is I'm wearing. I can decide what it is what it is that I'm going to do, potentially how it is I'm going to do it. You know, when I can't control where it is that I might be going, or sometimes what it is that I have to do when I get there, or the intention of going in the first place, which was potentially a stressful proposition. To walk into it, you know, leaving every one of my concerns that I might have as far behind me as I can to assuage any feelings of guilt or discomfort that would come along with stepping outside my comfort zone. It's not easy to do. It's easier said than done to say, well, just live in the moment. Yeah, but you know, when that moment is overwhelming you, it's not a fun feeling. But when you take it for what it is, and you accept it, and you just go with the flow, it's not as hard as you think it might be. Go with the flow. I'm here. This is it. This is, you know, let go. Just let go. And that has helped me deal with stepping outside my comfort zone. I know I got to do it. I mean, if we're talking a vacation, it may not be a thing that I got to do it. Like if I've got to travel somewhere for work, or you know, something that's, you know, associated with something that I have to do for business, you know, the content stuff I've done in the past for years and years and years. These require me to do certain things that I become more and more familiar with the more frequently I do it. So traveling, I've done it enough. I've done it enough to know that it's not my favorite thing to do. I'm not a big sightseer. I'm not a great vacationer. It's not something that I look forward to doing. I believe in staycations, right? I enjoy that. I enjoy the comfort of that. I've always been that way. But to push myself forward, I had to decide, look, I'm going to have to deal with these situations. And what am I going to go into these situations constantly as a victim saying, God, you know, I wish I wasn't here and this sucks and blah, blah, blah. Like, it is what it is. All right. Okay. It is what it is. Can't change it, but I can change how I am in those situations as much as I possibly can. That does not mean that I nail it every single time, but the more I let go in those situations, the more comfortable I feel, even if I'm uncomfortable. The less I feel like I have to hold on to the reins. And I'm not even saying it's a control issue. It's just it's a discomfort for me. I feel that I don't have to bring all my stresses and worries along with me in uncomfortable situations, because these situations don't necessarily require everything that I might need to bring or might want to bring along with. So, to step outside your comfort zone, you have to recognize that whatever zone you're stepping into is safe. Because if you're stepping into a zone that's not safe, and not even perceivably not safe, like legitimately not safe, everyone is probably going to be concerned, and you're well outside your comfort zone. But believing that you can endure this situation and come out of it unscathed on the other side reinforces that feeling like you can do it. Like, okay, this is fine, it's safe. Okay, I'm here. Gonna go with the flow. It is what it is. You know, time's only gonna move so fast. Gonna do it. I'm in it. I'm here. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I might want to do. This is how I might want to do it. I'm going to control whatever I can in this situation, including how I respond to this situation. Knowing full well, and I've made this thought process when I do this, especially traveling. Oh, the new YouTube advice video just dropped. Hope y'all remember to like, comment, watch it all the way through, and share it. Sorry, like I mentioned, streaming this live on Twitch. I got the notification from our Discord server because you can't count on YouTube to send notifications. I have to go through this process frequently because I find myself getting caught up and not being happy in that moment. I'm like, okay, what can I do? Maybe not to be happy, but to not be as stressed out because I'm outside my comfort zone. And the more frequently I do it, the easier it is to kind of stretch the boundaries of my comfort zone. I can do it. I'm fine. It's the unknown sometimes that's scary. So I figure out what it is that I know. I figure out what it is that I, can do. I don't concentrate on the things that I can't do. I don't concentrate on all the things that are wrong. I concentrate on the things that are working, not the things that are not working. And by the way, that's a philosophy that should span your entire life. If you concentrate on the things that are not working, guess what? Your entire life is not going to work. Just like if you're stepping outside your comfort zone and you're already going in with an attitude like it's not working, it's going to fail, guess what? It's like driving a car. Don't look at the tree because guess where your car is going to go, right? So it's a microcosm of your life versus approaching it like a success. Like, this is what's working. This is what I can control. This is what I might enjoy. This is how I can make best use of the time. So it's an attitude adjustment. So you have to be willing to make an attitude adjustment to step outside your comfort zone and maybe over time push the boundary a little further. You don't have to shove yourself, but it is possible to do. You have potentially decided that you want to do it, which is a good inclination to have. You have to understand that on the other side of this, there's the potential for growth, personal growth. There's a potential for opportunity that won't avail itself until you step outside your comfort zone, until you challenge yourself and push yourself to do that, because no one else is going to do it. No one else is going to push you to do it. No one else should be prodding you to do it. You have to decide that for yourself. You have to be intrinsically motivated to step outside your comfort zone because then you own it. Because you need to be able to control that, to know that you did it. Coming out on the other side like, it wasn't so bad after all. I mean, I can give you some extreme examples of how I stepped outside my comfort zone. I climbed one of those scaling walls, which to some of you is like nothing. I have a fear of heights, right? And I mean, I did not want to do it, but I did it because it was there. I'm like, okay, it's safe. There's a rope. People kind of know what they're doing. All right, okay, so I feel safe. All right, and people are kind of, come on, do it. I'm like, I don't know. I have to want to do this, and I have to know I can do it. So I did it. That was one moment. Another moment was when I went skydiving with the Army's Golden Knights. That video is also in the YouTube channel from eons ago, over a decade ago. And my initial response was, no, I don't want to do it. I'm afraid of heights. This is not my idea of a good time. Jumping out of a plane, a perfectly functioning plane, not what I wanted to do. But there was some reason in the response of, look, if you were ever going to do it, this would be the time. These are the professionals. This is what they do. That's what they train. This is not a vacation kind of skydiving experience. Like, this is for real. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. I did it. I was nervous as hell. But it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I will never do it again. I did it. I can say that I did it. I came out unscathed. It was fun. I lost myself in the moment. I'm like, this is it. You're in it. There's no turning back now. And had I approached it in any other way, I would have lost out on an opportunity and would have deprived myself that opportunity to find a feeling or a little bit of joy in an experience that I otherwise never would have had. So you have to remember that on the other side of your comfort zone, you're going to find new stuff. I mean, that's why you've got your known quantities, right? That's what you know. You're comfortable with that. But the reason to step outside your comfort zone is because maybe you're bored. Or maybe you know you want to do something else. Or maybe you don't even know what it is. All the more reason to recognize that you can push those boundaries. And you can control certain circumstances around those experiences. You have that ability. You have that. Everyone has that power. You absolutely do. You have to believe that you have it, because no one's going to tell you that you can do it if you don't believe that you can do it. Because then it's peer pressure, and people are. It's not a good feeling when someone tells you you can do something if you don't believe it, because then you almost resent doing it, or you're doing it because not for the right reasons. And the right reason to step outside your comfort zone is because you want to do it. Not because someone else needs you to do it, and they might need you to do it, but because you want to do it. And maybe because you need to do it. But you are at the center of that experience, and you are the one who is going to make the best of those moments. And maybe, just maybe, become a slightly better person because of it. Because you've expanded your comfort zone, right? I'm not saying it's going to expand forever, but it gets bigger and bigger, and it's a process. But I can tell you, I've got comfort zones, and I find myself outside them on a frequent enough basis, and I too need this kind of reminder. So thank you for asking how I deal with stepping outside of my comfort zone.